Well, overall, the Fed statement was largely unchanged. There was one piece of new news in that the Fed provided forward guidance in terms of its quantitative easing program, its asset purchase program, saying that essentially maintain purchases until we were at least as close to the objectives of full employment and price stability. So that's quite some times away from today.
And clearly this is a team effort getting the economy back on track. So as we look at the continued COVID fallout, what has Chairman Powell called on Congress to do?
Well, essentially, Powell had a clear message for Congress. We need fiscal stimulus to stimulate the economy and provide a strong economic recovery to this pandemic. That's going to be key in ensuring that we avoid a double-dip type of scenario for the U.S. economy. Because if we look at the near-term situation, we have potential for a situation coming months before we get the vaccine. The vaccine news is very encouraging, and the middle of 2021 will likely be very strong. But in the meantime, the economy is slowing, mobility is slowing, employment growth is slowing, and demand is hesitant. And that's why we need additional fiscal stimulus to bridge that gap between today and a post-COVID world.
And you touched on some of those issues that the central bank identified as concerning as 2020 comes to an end. Any opportunities that the Fed sees?
Well, I think if you look at the broad picture, there are opportunities in terms of stronger growth in 2021. That is the good news. We will see people resume certain types of activities that have been constrained for the past 9 months to a year. And that is very encouraging. We will see the service sector rebound. There will be some gradual retransition away from goods spending towards service sector activity, but that is going to take time. And it's going to take time before the U.S. reaches herd immunity, which will be key in supporting a sustainable recovery to this health crisis.
So then, as we know, other central banks are also meeting this week. Which ones are you watching, and what are your expectations for them?
Well, I think broadly speaking, there is very limited marginal stimulus that central banks can produce around the world. We saw last week that the ECB provided additional dovish guidance by not necessarily changing anything on the interest rate front, but providing additional measures in terms of credit accommodation. That is going to be key as we look ahead to 2021, is ensuring that businesses that need access to credit have that access to credit, in particular in situations where fiscal aid is lacking. And the U.S. is one of these examples where we really need to ensure that everybody, in terms of businesses and individuals, have access to credit to bridge the gap when there is a lapse in fiscal aid.